Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that affects pretty much everyone with a smartphone. We are talking about the completely hidden, absolutely massive legal and reputational minefield of social media in the workplace. Whether you're a day one intern or the CEO of a massive company, the phone in your pocket, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So we're going to unpack exactly how a single, seemingly innocent post can trigger an absolute cascade of disasters, and more importantly, how you can actually protect you and your business.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The one-photo ruin. 2. Employees posting the workplace. 3. Employers posting the team. 4. The legal reality check. And finally, 5. Crisis response and prevention.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the one-photo ruin. Okay, let's be real for a second. We live in an era where snapping a super quick picture of your lunch or, your aesthetically messy desk can literally ruin a career. You might be sitting there thinking, oh, my office looks cool today, I'm going to post this. Or look at this great coffee my coworker brought me. But the reality? Those totally casual, everyday impulses are increasingly turning into life-altering corporate disasters.
It's what the sources call the modern paradox. Whether you're an employee just sharing a harmless selfie, or maybe a manager showing off your amazing team, a single tap on your screen carries so much hidden danger. We are all encouraged to be content creators these days, right? But at the exact same time, we're held to these incredibly strict standards of corporate responsibility. The line between what's perfectly fine and what's a massive legal liability is basically invisible.
Moving on to Section 2, employees posting the workplace.
According to the source material, there are 5 major reasons you need to think twice before posting from work. First off, confidential information leaks. Think about the computer screens or whiteboards hanging out in the background of your selfie. Number 2, damaging company credibility. A photo of inappropriate behavior or a super messy workspace can destroy trust fast. Third is personal privacy infringement, like capturing your colleagues' faces without asking. Fourth, violating work regulations, because almost every company has strict policies now. And fifth, it absolutely tanks your future job prospects. Recruiters are 100% checking your social media to see if you're a liability.
Now, you might be thinking, hey, I'll just blur my computer monitor or I'll hide my ID badge. Well, enter the identification squad. Modern AI and online sleuths are seriously next level. They can read the reflection in a window, or, I kid you not, the reflection in someone's eye to piece together shift tables or company secrets in seconds. So yeah, the photos you think are totally safe are often the most dangerous ones.
And this brings us to a quote from the sources that just hits the nail on the head. In the rules of society, I didn't know is not an excuse. Ignorance is not going to save you from disciplinary action, having your salary slashed, or just getting outright fired. If you break your company's policy, saying, oops, I didn't mean any harm, holds absolutely zero legal weight.
All right, Section 3, employers posting the team. Let's look at the other side of the coin.
Let's completely flip the script, because it's definitely not just employees making mistakes. Imagine this. Your company loves using its staff for TikToks, Instagram Reels, maybe the homepage banner. It builds trust, it shows off the culture, it's awesome marketing. But what actually happens when the star of your viral video suddenly hands in their 2 weeks' notice?
Well, you're looking at what's called a deletion nightmare. Former employees frequently demand that their image be scrubbed from all company marketing, relying on their privacy rights. And for a company, having to go back through years, literally years of social media posts to hunt down and delete one specific face is a massively time-consuming and expensive headache.
And here's the kicker. Even if that employee smiled and agreed to be filmed while they worked there, that consent often expires the second they resign. The burden on the employer is huge. If you ignore their deletion request, you could be looking at paying financial compensation for emotional distress. Plus, if you handle it poorly, that ex-employee might take to social media to publicly complain, trashing your reputation. Oh, and you lose all those valuable marketing assets you spent so much time making.
Which brings us to Section 4, the legal reality check.
To really understand why this two-way street is so incredibly dangerous, we have to look at the legal tug-of-war going on here. It's all about balancing portrait rights. On one side, you have privacy rights. That's employees risking legal trouble by filming a coworker without permission. On the other side, you have publicity rights, which is employers getting in trouble for monetizing an ex-employee's image. You step on either side of this scale and boom, you've hit a landmine.
And if you think this is just a slap on the wrist, think again. The courts do not mess around with this stuff. If an employee accidentally leaks a trade secret, under the Unfair Competition Prevention Act, we are literally talking about up to 10 years in prison or massive corporate fines. 10 years! And for companies misusing images, You're looking at the Personal Information Protection Act and civil tort laws, meaning mandatory regulatory reporting, compensation claims, and serious lawsuits.
So the whole foundation of this is portrait rights. And the absolutely crucial thing to remember here is that consent has to cover both taking the photo and publishing it. Just because someone posed for a selfie at the office party doesn't mean they signed away the rights to be on the company's public Instagram forever. Portrait rights protect a person's dignity. Crossing that line has very real consequences.
Okay, finally, Section 5, Crisis Response and Prevention. How do we actually fix this?
Let's say the worst happens and a leak actually occurs. You have to follow these exact steps during those first few golden hours. And actually, the golden rule here might surprise you. Do not just hit delete right away. First, preserve the evidence. Get screenshots, grab the URLs, note the exact timestamps. If you delete it too fast, you completely lose your ability to prove what happened later in court. Step 2, assess the damage. Is it a trade secret? Step 3, calmly interview the people involved to figure out their intent. And then finally, Step 4, remove the post, contain it, and report it to the authorities if you need to.
But honestly, the absolute best defense is ironclad preparation before anything bad even happens. You need incredibly explicit social media policies. You need training based on real-world case studies, not just some boring corporate handbook. Show people exactly what a dangerous photo background looks like, and treat things like ID cards and shift tables like the highly confidential documents they are, not just random desk clutter.
And for the employers out there filming your teams, listen up. Get it in writing. Your consent forms have to clearly state what the social media purpose is, and they absolutely must explicitly say you have the right to keep using that footage even after the employee quits. Also, make sure you're not penalizing employees who just don't want to be on camera. Lock those boundaries down in writing early on, and your marketing can thrive without trampling on anyone's rights.
The digital landscape moves incredibly fast, and the consequences for a single misstep, they're heavier than they've ever been. So the next time you or your company goes to press that upload button, I want you to ask yourself, is this post going to build a brand, or is it handing someone the exact evidence they need to break a career? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay safe out there.